I've not deadlifted a single rep, probably 3 to 4 months. I want to say even 4 to 5 months. I can't remember the last time I did a single deadlift. It's been a long, long time. So much so that I haven't even thought about it. I haven't done any thinking about deadlifts. It was all squats. And today, after such a long period of not doing the movement, I was able to do 262.5 kilos. It's been such a long time since I've done a freaking deadlift that I thought today that I hit a PR. My son was there and I'm like telling him, dude, I just hit a PR of 265, and I told him the whole freaking spiel about all you need to do is squat, blah, 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 blah. And then I jump on the phone and I'm watching the replays and I'm like, wait a minute, I reckon I've done more than that. Look through the phone and I see 265 and I'm like, damn it. Man, that's a shit feeling now. It's a great feeling, but at the same time, it could have been better if I actually hit a PR. So 265 is my all-time PR. It's been more than 2.5 years since I've done that. And that came about after going crazy with squatting. I was doing 180s for fives, 185, 190, I think for five was my top set. I did this over like a 6 to 8 week period where I started with like 140 for five and I kept going up the weight. Basically opposite to what I did this time around, which was fix the weight of 180 and increase the reps. So I've done kind of both, which seems like similar results. Like today, the bar felt so freaking light to me, man. It felt light. It felt like, I was stacked. I felt like I had more push off the ground. It wasn't just a pull. So I felt kind of poppy off the floor. Mind you, this was all done today after an hour on the bike. And I pushed the bike quite harder today. I turned that screw a little bit more, so it was more resistance. I got so sweaty that I had to change my clothing before I came out here. I didn't want to come out here in the wind, all wet. And then I thought to myself, like, this morning as I was on the bike, I'm like, man, I haven't done a deadlift in a long time. I want to do some freaking deadlifting, man. And I thought I'll go up to like 180, maybe 220 or something like that, and just kind of feel the movement and see kind of what that movement is telling me about how I'm feeling or whatever. And then I'm like, damn, this is feeling way better than I thought it was going to feel. And then I hit 220 and I was like, okay, let's go 240. And then 240 moves really well. And then on the video, again, when you look at the video, things are like, God damn, it's even lighter than I thought it was feeling. And then I'm like, man, I'll put 260 on. As soon as I said 260 in my mind, I thought, well, do a little bit more and just maybe set a PR. And I mean, I had a really good feeling there for a little while thinking that it was a PR, but it's not. But having said all of that, I've never done a bigger pull than 250 in my garage. At my absolute strongest with the deadlift, I don't think, maybe 240. I don't think I've done 250 in the garage here. For some reason, the weights at home feels damn heavy, man. Usually, I can't. The bar's really stiff. The 265 deadlift that I did, I've been thinking about this over the course of 2.5 freaking years. I've had lots of different thoughts about it, but like the bars at this gym that I went to, on that day, that bar felt even more noodly than the rest of the bars in the gym. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe it was the really, really whippy bar that made me pull that 265. Whatever, it doesn't matter. The point is, for me to get even close to 265 after not even touching the damn movement for 3 to 4 months, probably 5 months, is very, very impressive to me. There's something there to be said about that. For those of you that have watched, that, I've spent a large portion of this year just, squatting and doing nothing much else, really. Squatting, pushing the repetitions. I got to 180 for 13. And then I decided to have a deload. I got myself into trouble with trying too many different things, got too much fatigue carrying on. So I decided to take a week off. And as is the case, usually when you take the foot off the pedal, I guess the immune system let up as well. Everything released. And then I got sick at the end of that week. And then a week of sickness and then another week of still snotty. Like this morning I woke up, you guys probably can hear me, I'm still nasally. So I haven't kind of gone back to the 180 straight bar, chasing that 14th and 15th rep, but I mean to. I definitely think that's the course for me. It's just I'm hesitant about it because I'm still snotty and I mean, that 180 for max reps twice a week is very, very hard. And it's probably preferred to do it in warmer weather. It taxes the hell out of you. Your immune system drops. You go to emergency. You work there. It's flu season over here, so everyone's sick. Everyone's coughing. Everyone's got COVID. Everyone's got flu. And if I really overdo it, I'll get sick again. And that's kind of the enemy for me mid-year. Every year is that I seem to get very, very sick because I try to do the summer routine during winter and I always get caught out. So I'm kind of being really hesitant, really allowing the body to catch up. So I've kind of turned to the SSB and I've done a lot of Hatfield squats, which, it's still kind of hard, but it doesn't tax the posterior chain as much. And so I can still kind of get the work in, but it doesn't take my damn soul. It doesn't completely waste me like a straight bar. So the Hatfield squats have been feeling really, really well. And today, after I did the deadlift, I went back to the Hatfield and I did my usual 180 for 10 and I felt my mid back absolutely kill me, man. So the deadlift felt all right. Like there was no lower back fatigue or anything like that. I just felt my mid back, man, like just underneath the shoulder blades, like in between the shoulder blades, just right there. I kind of gave that positioning up. And so the deadlift really exhausted that mid back. And then when I went to the SSB Hatfields, man, I really, really felt that. So, but I know the SSB does that. It trains that portion of the spine really, really well because it tries to fold you over. So maybe that mid-back business is a fatigue residue of the recent SSB and Hatfield squats that I've done. Maybe that's why the deadlift kind of finished it off. But it's interesting. Like out of all the things that could have gone wrong and the feedback could have been, I was expecting lower back, to be honest. After not deadlifting for a long time, the lower back would probably scream. But no, my lower back felt very strong. It was the mid-back. And now that I'm sitting here talking, I'm like really feeling it. It's almost like I'm about to cramp. So it's just interesting. It's interesting when you do these different movements and then you come back to something that you haven't done in a little while and then you see, okay, so there's very freaking good carryover here, man. I have not done this move for 4 months. My body's basically forgotten about it. And then in the first day, I damn near set up another PR. So there's something very, very important here, which I think is the takeaway. And that for me, I don't need to train the deadlift, If you think about it, I haven't done anything deadlift like. I have not done an RDL. I have not done a block pull, a rack pull. I've not done anything. Snatch grip pulls, nothing of the hinging sort. I've just done squatting. And I'm strong in my lower back. I'm strong in all these positions. So that tells me that even my damn squat is recruiting some of these muscles because I'm so leaned over and whatnot. So if I just continue squatting and targeting the anterior chain for me probably is the right way to go. And maybe this bike business that I'm doing, getting the odd pump every day in the quads, in the hip flexors, maybe that's also doing something to me as well. So I think I'm on the right path. And this is a very good indicator that I am. I mean, I've not maxed out my squat, but, the deadlift for me has been a better representation of my strength. Just because it's technically more soothing for me. It doesn't challenge me as much. It's just pull, get into a good position and then pull. With the squat, I seem to always lose it at the bottom, whether it's the calves, whether it's the ankles, whatever the case might be, maybe the basketball days and all the rolled ankles. I don't know, but I always get out of position and then, the bar drifts forward and then I'm in a really, really bad spot. But it looks like, the strength has improved. I expect, you can't never say, but I expect if I spend the next month, working with the deadlift and getting a little bit more accustomed to it, that there's a PR on the table for me, maybe 270, it's very unusual for you to be away from a lift so long and damn near pull your PR. That's not supposed to be like that. So, it's encouraging for me. You can see here, you slow down at the top, but, even during the pool, I was thinking to myself, okay, don't be an idiot here. I didn't drop the clutch from 10,000 RPM. I was kind of hesitantly pulling into it. I didn't want to jerk it. I didn't want to rip it because I almost don't trust the body. I've not been here in a little while, so I kind of bled the power in. And I kept pulling and pulling, and the bar started reacting and bending and then the plates came off. And once the plates come off and I'm still in a semi-good position, I can finish it. It's that, can I break the weight off the floor in a good position? If I can, I'm going to finish it. And here I'm telling my son, I'm like, man, I set a PR, man. I can't believe this. And I'm telling him, all Dad's done in the last 3-4 months is squat, and seems to be improving my whole, athletic performance. Right now, he's really big into basketball. His favorite player is Ja Morant. He loves the jumping ability that Ja has and dunking. And, my son's smaller, so all the other kids are a little bit taller than him, kind of like me. I was very, very small, and then I had a huge growth spurt in year 9 and year 10, and then I became one of the taller ones. But I was like, man, if you want to jump like Ja, man, you got to squat. And he's already doing plyos and going jogging with me when I go jogging, and he's jumping on and off the boxes and all that stuff that Ja does. And I'm telling him here, man, let's just get squatting, man, do some body weight squats. I don't let him do weights yet. That's an interesting topic for me. I mean, I don't want to impact his growth plates. I know there's a lot of discussion around that, when to let kids do that stuff. I'm just of the opinion to let them do push-ups, lunges, bodyweight squats, all that bodyweight stuff, calisthenics, plyos, fantastic. But stay away from the, weight-bearing, axial loading. He's turning 8 later this year, so there's plenty of time to add strength. Right now, it's all about the motor neuron, anagrams, him getting accustomed to some movements. He loves it. The moment I said to him, if you want to dunk like Ja, do some squats, he got really excited, started squatting. But unfortunately, Daddy didn't set a PR today. But I reckon it's around the corner. But at least we can walk away from here and say that I've never lifted a better or heavier weight in the garage. So it's definitely a PR in the garage, no doubt about that. I never hit 260 in the garage. I never hit 255. And I'm guessing I never hit 250 either. I reckon 240 is my best. I'm not 100% sure about that. Maybe 250 was there at some point, but definitely not higher than that. 260, 2.5 is a garage PR, and I'm happy about that. And I can't stop thinking how I got here, which is very interesting to me. My quads are better than they were last time. And maybe my quads were probably at the same level they are now when I hit the 265 because of all the heavy squatting that I did. Interesting stuff, isn't it? Anyway, guys, appreciate you guys like always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.